Okay, Valentines, we are about to do a Valentine's special makeup with Josie. So, Josie, what are you going to showcase for Valentine's week?
So I thought today we could do like a really pretty glowy sort of pink look. When I say pink, I'm going to be using the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Instant Eye Palette.
Well, I'm going to use Jane Iredale and I'm going to be showcasing more of like contouring, and I am going to do the false lash trick that you taught us all last week, the half
Yay!
lash. So I'm going to apply the demi wispy lashes halfway along my eye, just as a little bit of a flutter on the edges. And I've got a nice peaches and cream palette, and then I've got a surprise for the lips as well. So do you want to get started, Josie?
Yes, so I've basically done everything. I've already primed my lids with a little bit of concealer, and then I just set it with a little bit of powder. I'm actually going to start off by going in with the day section here, and I'm going to take this light colour. I'm actually going to use my finger because I find these formulas are really buttery, so using them with your finger, you just get a really nice payoff, and I'm just going to focus that on the inner half of the eye.
I love how you can just go in with your fingers. I think it's so nice when you can do that with makeup.
It just makes it so much like quicker and easier.
I actually have already gone in with my eye makeup, and I have actually used the Peaches and Cream palette from Jane Iredale. Now, this is beautiful for the eyes, but it's also amazing for like a cheek colour as well. So what I did was I applied the peachy colour on the inner part of my eye. Then I went in with the pinky tone just next to it. I put the deeper pink colour right in the centre of my eye because it will really make my darker eyes a bit more prominent. And then with this sort of darker browny colour, I just softly went in with the crease, because with my look today, I do want it all to be about the lips. So let's demonstrate it on the cheeks then. So I almost want like a wash of colour with this. So I'm going to go in with the blending contouring brush, which has the perfect angle for going up the skin. And I'm just going to rub and dab along all colours so that we've got a really nice wash of everything. And then I'm going to just buff up my cheekbone. It's just a really nice soft colour that I think is perfect for all year round.
Then taking the second shimmer shade, that's really hard to say, and it's just a little bit of a deeper sort of a rose goldy pink, and with the same finger I'm then just using that on sort of the outer half of my eye. And we don't have to be neat with this because I am going to take a little blending brush just to buff the edges, but just to get it so you get almost like a really nice soft gradient. I'm then going to take the more pinkier matte shade on a light fluffy brush and just blend the outer edges just so we get a nice seamless blend.
So I've completed both cheeks. I've kept it rather soft, but what I want to do now is really define my contours. So I'm going to teach you a little bit about baking, not cakes, but baking on the face, because you wouldn't want to see me baking. So I'm going to go in with actually the pure pressed powder from Jane Iredale. Now, for those of you that know Jane Iredale, these pure pressed powders can actually be used as standalone foundations, or they can set liquids. I've just chosen a much lighter shade, Warm Silk, and I'm going to go in with a flocked sponge, so an angled sponge to go underneath my contours. And all I'm doing is I'm dampening that with the Jane Iredale hydration spray. And we're going to simply follow underneath my eye in almost like an upside down triangle. And then I'm going to do a line underneath my cheekbone area where I've done the contour. And I'm just going to slightly press that in to the under eye area, which instantly will brighten. So at this point, we're just wanting to go underneath, but just making sure that we're not touching the top part of our bronzer, but we are going in like an upside down triangle to just brighten that under eye.
It's also great for making sure your concealer and everything lasts that little bit longer as well, isn't it?
It is, because I've already gone in with my liquid concealer. So this time it's all about just enhancing those features and making sure that the liquid stays in place.
I'm now going to take a little mixture of the lighter matte shade and then this kind of hot pink matte shade, which looks quite scary, but actually once it goes on the skin, and because we're mixing it with that other pink, it looks a lot warmer. And I'm going to take that underneath the eye, right into the inner corner, and just pull it down and almost do it sort of my outer V.
So I'm just going underneath my contour now with that powder. So just to show you, I'm creating that definition and sculpting my jawline just there underneath. This is when somebody walks in, isn't it? And they see you baking and they think,
what are you doing?
What are you doing? So we're going to wait for this to bake and not blend anything. We're leaving the powder as it is. And this is the time where we can do false lash application.
This is my very well loved Pillow Talk eyeliner. It's a really kind of unique, it's almost like a aubergine brick red colour. You'll see when I pop it on, but it's amazing. It just really enhances the colour of your eye. And I'm just going to do a slight wing with this one. So following my lower lash line, just to blot out where I want that wing to go. Like so. And then I'll just come back on myself.
So I've just gone in by applying my glue to my half lash. So I am actually using the Demi Wispies that I used last week. I used them as a full strip last week though. So as Josie taught us, we always cut from the outer corner in, and I'm going to go in with this one on my right eye just to demonstrate. So I've put a little layer of mascara on like we taught you last week, and that's just going to help the lash to adhere to the lash line. I've got my tweezers at the ready, I've got my mirror at the ready, and all I'm going to do is look down and set my strip to the outer edge. So as you can see, it is pretty much half of the lash that I used last week, okay? So I've just placed it in, and then I'm just wriggling it in with my fingers just to make sure it's set in place. Because when you first apply it, remember guys, it's quite wet. So just remember it might move slightly. So don't do any sudden movements. Perfect.
I love it. Look at how pretty it looks.
I love this lash trick. It's the best thing. I love that look. It's like a sunset on your eyes.
Yeah, it is almost that kind of like sunsetty. Kind of reminds me a bit of a cocktail.
Yeah, well, let's hope on Valentine's Day we might have to make our own cocktails at home.
Oh, yes. Well, that'd be fun.
Definitely.
What's your favourite cocktail, Alexis?
Oh, see, all of them. No.
Everything.
I love a pina colada, but I find that if I have too many of them, it's just a bit too heavy.
It's quite creamy, isn't it?
Quite creamy. Love a porn star martini.
Oh, classic.
But also an espresso martini. So a bit of a mix.
Mm.
What about you?
Well, definitely a porn star martini as well, and an espresso martini.
Yeah.
But if I just absolutely love, I'm a tequila girl, so I love a Long Island iced tea, but they're so dangerous.
They are dangerous. Why didn't I just say that? I do like all of the cocktails, so Long Island iced tea pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, there isn't really one that I've come across that I don't like. So no. I'm going to trim up my lashes and then apply them as well now.
As long as you've got your mirror at the ready and you're looking down, simply just place that lash where you want it to sit. Let go of your tweezer, press it in place. Give it a little wiggle.
Yeah, as we said before, guys, it is patience. So if you've got 5 minutes, I wouldn't recommend doing a lash.
No.
Should be just about ready.
I'm gonna now blend in the baking. So I tend to take quite a nice fluffy brush. So this one is the chisel powder brush from Jane Iredale. So you just want to sweep now with your powder. So under the eye, sweeping outwards, under as well.
Also, I always think it brings the whole look to life. I always hate, like, I'm like, oh, I don't know if I like it. And then I put mascara and I'm like, yes, there it is.
There it is. Yeah. I'm going to go in with this shade here. Almost like a light chalky pink. And I'm going to go tip of my nose. I'm going to go along top of my cheekbone. Cupid's bow. And I'm actually going to go down on the décolleté today. I'm going to go onto the collarbone area to do a bit of highlighting. So this is now just going to add another dimension to the look. It will bring it all together.
Oh, I love that. It's so pretty.
It's really shimmery.
I love that.
So my little lip combo surprise that I'm doing today. Now, some people are more of a red fan, some people are more of a pink fan. Just because of my makeup look today, I feel it's more appropriate for me to do a shimmery pink. So first of all, I'm going to go in with a lip liner from Jane Iredale in shade Rose. And I'm actually going to use the Beyond Matte lip stains, which basically are mask proof.
I'm loving the look of that colour. I can't wait for you to put it on.
I know. This one is so bright and shimmery. It's shade Cherish.
I've actually got another palette. So this is another Charlotte Tilbury one. This is Walk of No Shame. But in all of her palettes, she's got this gorgeous like sparkle shimmer shade, which again, you use your finger for, and it just adds a pop of sparkle. And who doesn't want a bit of extra sparkle? I'm literally just going to take that right in the inner corner, and it'll just add a little bit of extra dimension and shift.
I am loving this.
And I basically can't put enough of it on, so I'll probably just keep going until someone tells me to stop.
Never stop. So lip liner's on. It's evened out my border of my lips, but I've also coloured in a little bit of the centre just so that it ties it all together. Now for the moment of truth.
I'm going to watch this. I want to see.
So when these colours come out, it feels quite wet on the actual lip itself, but it does almost dry. But because this has a shimmer to it, it still looks glossy. So some of them are completely matte, but this one has a nice shimmer to it. So let me look in my mirror. So I'm going to start with my bottom lip.
Oh, wow. Oh my God, I love it. Oh, it's so pretty.
So you can build the colour as much as you want. I'm just going to put a little bit more on because, you know.
Just, yeah, more is more.
More is more. And this does stay on.
Amazing. We love that.
There we go.
It just literally like pulls it all together.
Yeah, definitely.
So just take a little bit of highlighter and literally just take that on my collarbone. Little bit. I mean, we can even go on the shoulders. Why not?
Oh yeah, go for it. We'll be shimmying in our living room.
Yes. Dance party in the living room.
1, 2, 3.
Cheers. Lashes.
Lashes alive. Oh, well, thank you so much for joining me for this Valentines.
It's like a little Valentines, yes. Thanks, lovely.
Bye.
Bye.